close are you to being able to get, with 32 players out, to getting a true sense of evaluation when it comes to special teams? Because a lot of those guys are obviously going to be on the field for you.
Yeah, absolutely true. The joint practices was very good for us as far as determining the nucleus of who we will play with and things that we'll see going forward.
Well, I realize that special teams dictates whether some guys are going to make the roster or not, but on the flip side, you have to wait to see who makes the roster at other spots. So, like, at this point, is it not that big a concern that maybe things haven't, come together with the personnel in every group, and you just have to wait and see, or
well,
eager to find that out?
It's sort of the life we live, and it's an accepted fact in the special teams role. What I am encouraged by is I'm seeing the techniques that we're teaching, some of the things that we're doing now, is showing up on the game field. Is it the game film? Is it across the board? Not necessarily, but I'm seeing it more than it has been seen in the past. So we're encouraged from some aspects as far as that goes.
Those drills against the Jets are pretty fun to watch Wednesday, Thursday. Is that something that you can incorporate in your practices, or you just don't have enough players to do those one-on-ones like that?
We have done those drills in practice, and we will. I guess you haven't been there when we done those, like those gunner drills, the gunner release drills. I think you may be talking specifically about that, or what we call the Main Street drill, where we were trying to replicate a kickoff return. Those have been kind of our mainstay drills that we've instituted and have been working on. So yeah, that's a normal drill for us. Now the level to which the drill was run was obviously different because you had the Jets in here.
Yeah, they were really into it. The Jets guys were. Did you feel like you rose to the challenge? Because I mean, when they did something, they was went nuts. Did you feel like you rose to that?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. If you go back and you turn on the practice film and you take a look at it, matter of fact, in one of our team meetings, Coach pointed out several plays of our players who wasn't involved in the drill, who are non-special teams players, starters from the line of scrimmage, watching the drill. Every time we made a big play, they're excited. They're coaching the guys up. So that was really fun to watch. Yes.
What went right on Reggie's punt return?
What went right?
Yeah.
Well, several little things. The what we call the outside core, the vice, they did a really good job of holding up their gunners. The interior guys did a good job holding up their guys at the line of scrimmage. One of the things we preach in that hold-up technique is time at the line of scrimmage equals yardage gain. And then the other factor that went into it, the hang time was pretty low on that punt, so Reggie was able to get the ball in his hands much faster. Now, what I'm very excited about, and he was committed to the return, he got downhill right now once the ball was in his hands, and he was able to make a few people miss and carried a few people with him. And if you go look at the shot of the sideline to watch his teammates be happy for him, that was really, really fun to watch. I can't wait to watch it with the guys and talk about those positives.
Mo, did J.K. say anything specific as far as what went wrong on the one punt? He had two really good punts on either side of that, but then there was that one injury.
Yeah, absolutely. We just have to continue to build the consistency with J.K. It's little things within the mechanics of punting that I don't necessarily want to talk about out loud, but we know exactly what he needs to do, and we're going to continue to work on it, and J.K. will get better.
Well, the public's view of special teams is to, panic and they want everything fixed from last year immediately. When you go back into the room and you're dressing your guys, what's your message at this point? How are you handling it?
Well, all sickness isn't death. I'm actually very encouraged by pulling the positives. And because I'm within the building and within the program, I'm able to see where we were previous to where we are now, time frame wise, and I think we're going to be okay. We're on pace. If everything is hunky dory in the preseason and it's nothing to correct, then you better probably watch out. I think it was Baltimore Ravens. They haven't lost a preseason game in however many years, but they have, what, one Super Bowl to account for? And that's our end goal, is the Super Bowl. So our goal is to get a little bit better each day. And the other thing that I believe in, and the things we talk about in our room, is there's no such things as mistakes. And what I mean by that is, if we fix that mistake, everyone in the room learns from it and why it happened, then it wasn't a mistake. It was a lesson learned. So we're in the phase right now where we're trying to teach lessons and make sure that there's lessons learned.
Mo, you said last time we talked to you that, I mean, at least it seemed it would be Amari and Kylin as your two returners. Have you seen anything over the last couple weeks to change that, or are those still the two guys you want returning your kicks and punts?
Well, it's not about what I want, it's who earns it, okay? And every day we're out there at practice, these guys have put in the work to earn the right to step out there first. Now, what happens after that will be dictated through the remaining practices and preseason game.
What are those positives that you've been pulling out that are different than the past? What have you been sharing with your guys and highlighting with them?
Well, it goes back to the techniques. I believe the first time I stood before you, or at that time I think I was in an empty room and you guys were on the phone or something. I talked about drill work and how we're going to take the drills that we have and take it to our unit work in practice, and from our unit work onto the game field. And simple techniques such as a front hand swipe as I'm covering down on kickoff versus dipping my shoulder and ripping, exposing my back, getting pushed out of my lane. Utilizing some of these tools that we're giving them to where it becomes innate and they don't have to think about it. Those are the things that I kind of harp on. I'm pulling that forth so that they can see that, hey, if you follow this recipe, we'll be successful in the end. And it doesn't happen overnight.
Well, you said it's about who earns it, not who you necessarily want. So how well is Kylin earning that kickoff job right now? Like, is he rising to the occasion that you kind of put him in a position to do?
Well, he has to. First of all, he has. He is what we call. He's a jump cutter, and sometimes with guys who are jump cutters, the kickoff return aspect does not come as natural to them. All right, but he has shown in practice that he's doing the things and showing us that he'll be able to, kind of bend out of that jump cut ability and get more into where he can stick his foot in the ground and get vertical in the kickoff realm. So he's showing us some of those things. So we're encouraged by it. The other thing is the decision-making process that he shows in practice on, when we're going to field the ball, how we're going to field the ball, and things of that nature.
And that's important with him because he doesn't have a hell of a lot of experience doing this, right?
Exactly.
Is Patrick Taylor still in the mix? Is that a guy you would like to?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. We have several guys that are in the mix. To me, you can never have enough returners. I think you're always working guys in that realm, and if their name gets called and they're up that week, then we've already put in the work for those guys, and we'll rock and roll from there. So yes.
Was Christian Uphoff a good special teams player in college, or is he just a guy who's kind of a natural?
He had special teams ability. If you go back and you take a look at his film, he also has some return ability. So he's another young man who we've been working with. See, a lot of things happen pre-practice and behind the scenes that I guess we're privy of that, it may seem like a surprise to you all of a sudden, but it's just like, well, yeah, that guy's, he's put in the work and it's paying off now. So, yeah. Like Christian a lot, plays strong, very attentive. Yeah.